Good morning, everyone. Hi, it's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from McLean, and I'm about to guide you through today's yin yoga practice. So let's make our way down onto your mat, and I'm going to get started with a block. Sitting on top of a block for a little bit of a lift to help relax knees a little closer towards the floor and get a big opening of your hips. Make any adjustments that you need to, and then start to settle in. Find some heaviness through your sit bones. Relax your shoulders from your ears. Elbows start to hang heavy down towards the floor. Feel free to close your eyes or just find one spot to focus them on as you tune into your breath and start to notice, how are you feeling today? Now that you've been sitting here for just a moment, notice if you're hinging forward or backwards at all. Do your best to find a bit of a stacking of your head over your heart, over your hips, and some heaviness of your sit bones into whatever you're sitting on. And if you want to set an intention for today's practice, it's an awesome time to do so. Maybe sending some energy out to someone else that you think that needs it, or coming up with a positive affirmation that you can repeat as your mind starts to wander. I love a positive affirmation myself. I return to thoughts such as, I'm worthy and I am worth it, and there is no one better to be than myself. And today is going to be an amazing day. So we've got about one more minute here in our opening sukassanah. Remember, if your eyes are moving, your mind is moving. So find some stillness with your eyes. Start to bring some additional slowness to your breath and relax. One more big inhale here in Sukhasana. Find a little length through the crown of your head, shoulders away from your ears on your exhale. Next inhale, bring your arms up overhead and turn and twist. Let's start to the left. Left hand comes close to the base of your spine. If you're sitting on a block, you might not be able to touch the floor. And right hand can come to your right knee. Or if you want a deeper twist, you can reach towards your left leg. I don't like reaching towards my left leg because for me that starts to bring some rounding into the upper back, and I'd really enjoy the nice proud lift of the chest sternum and the roll down of shoulders away from your ears. So find whatever spine twist does feel good for you. We're going to hang out here for one more minute. And when shoulders and chest are as open as they can you even turn and twist your head and look over your shoulder? Keep your chin neutral to the floor and make sure you still can breathe wherever you ended up. Next inhale, make sure you bring that length back through the crown of your head, chest lifted. Bring your arms up overhead. I got distracted. And let's turn and twist in the opposite direction as you exhale. Bring your hands back down to the floor. This time, right hand coming close by the base of your spine or just reaching. Left hand can be on the left knee or it can reach towards the right leg. Take a moment. Roll your shoulders down and back. Open your chest. Find the twist through your upper body like your shoulders, and then find the twist through your head. Turn, look over your left shoulder, whole new side of the body. So no judgment, no expectations. Maybe your twist is bigger than it was on the last side, and maybe it needs to be a little bit smaller, but just honor wherever your body needs to be today and make sure that you're still breathing. No holding your breath. On your next inhale, bring your arms back up overhead. Exhale, bring your fingers down in front of you. We're going to come into a forward fold. You can stay on your block if you want. I'm going to release myself down to the floor. And then hands can either just be in front of your chest, or you can walk yourself as far forward as you would like. Maybe a little pressure of hands into the floor to create some rounding into your upper back, or back can be straight. It is your choice. We've got about 2 minutes here in this forward fold to just breathe and be. Start to scan your body 1 inch at a time, one breath at a time. And on your inhale, notice how you feel. How does it feel in that spot? And on your exhale, can you create a little bit more softness? Can you let go into this moment, into this breath a little bit more? And it doesn't matter what happens in your next breath. All you control is right now. As you're ready, we'll begin to gently walk our hands over to the right, keeping your left sit bone down on the floor. Your hands might be side to side and they might be really close to your knee, or your hands might be reaching really far away, maybe even one hand on top of the other to help draw your left shoulder forward. Really emphasize that twist, but left sit bone stays down on the floor. And can your shoulders relax from your ears back to your breath? And as you're ready, we'll slowly start to walk to the opposite side. Take a nice long hold. Or here, option to really focus on drawing your right shoulder forward and across your body. Still shoulders away from your ears, right sit bone heavy down to the floor. Great. Walk your hands back to center. And then once they get there, walk them in, lift yourself up. We're going to come into tabletop. So make your way to your tabletop position and start to enjoy some cat cows. I'm going to gently tuck my shirt in like a winner. Okay, good stuff. Great. So hands, palms are down on the floor. Spread your fingers really wide like a starfish, and then truly find any movement that feels good for you. So maybe your cat cow involves a lot of shaking up your hips, or shimmying of your shoulders, or making some circles instead of just the traditional cat cow. Or maybe you shake and shimmy just a bit from your cat cow as well. If you do something in one direction, give your body the opportunity to try it out in the opposite direction too. Take a couple more breaths here. And then we're returning to our neutral tabletop. Awesome. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders, so push into your hands, palms, a little external rotation of the shoulders here to bring shoulder blades even more in towards each other. Low belly pulls in, so it's not sinking down towards the floor. Extend your left leg long behind you and take a moment to turn your left hip down towards the floor. So the ball of the foot is down on the floor. Left hip is not opening to the left side of the mat. Keep it down there as you inhale your left heel up, if you can, and then cross your left heel over the right side of the body. Keep that left hip turned down to the floor as you look over your right shoulder. And maybe you see your left leg, and maybe you don't, but find one spot to focus your eyes on your exhales, gently shifting your hips to the left. Keep your breath. Great. Bringing your eye gaze back down to the floor. Bring that left leg in next to the right. Let's go ahead, extend the right leg out behind you. Take a moment, turn your right hip down towards the floor. Two hips in one line. Make sure you're not sinking into your shoulders. So press into your hands, palms. Press into that J and L shape that you have with your thumbs. And then inhale the right leg up. Ooh, I am tight and over. Plant that right foot on the floor and look over your left shoulder. And maybe even roll onto the edge of the right foot. You're just finding what feels good for you. How much stretch can you take? Do you want for today on this side in this breath while not holding your breath? Beautiful. Bring your eye gaze back down to the floor. Bring that right leg in to meet with the left. Give yourself one really slow cat. Give yourself one really slow cow. And then we've got a nice long child's pose. Open your knees as wide as you want. Toes can stay together. Send your glutes back towards your heels. And if you don't want to have your head all the way down on the floor, then feel free to bring a block. Or maybe you make a pillow with your hands and place your forehead on your hand pillow and start to relax. You can get as much of a stretch in your shoulders as you want. So if you want a really big stretch, maybe you even tent your hands and make little cupcakes or spiders with your fingers and you press your little spider legs into the floor. But if that's too much for your back, take a generous bend of your elbows, as generous as you want or need, and maybe hands even come all the way back towards your heels. So feel free to try a couple of those and find what feels good for you, and then sink into your stillness. Come back to your breath, and if you set an intention for today's practice, now is a great time to turn back into it, or tune back into it, I should have said. And if you are new to the idea of creating this long stillness within yoga, and you find that your mind is wandering a lot and setting an intention sounds weird, then think towards counting how long your inhale takes and counting how long your exhale is, and try and make your exhale a little bit longer than your inhale. But just stay focused in this moment by truly tuning into your breath as much as possible. And you'll slowly find that it takes a couple more breaths before you're distracted, before you can make it through the entire practice, just focused on yourself and your body and your breath and this moment, one breath at a time. Last few moments here. Really breathe those big, deep breaths into the back side of the body. Can you feel and create space between your backside ribs as your lungs expand and diaphragm expands? Fantastic. Let's keep going. Go ahead, bring your hands forward. We're going to shift ourselves forward, send our legs back, and come into Sphinx pose. So ideally, your elbows are underneath of your armpits, but maybe today that just doesn't feel so great for you. Option one, use a block. I like to place a block right underneath of my chest, pressing like the lower ish, not the low, because obviously those are much lower. It's like the middle ribs, we can say, onto the block can really help find a lift in the Sphinx. But if you don't have a block or using a block like your body is a truck and you're stopping the wheel doesn't sound good to you, then you can always, without the block, just open your arms a little bit wider, but still press elbows down and draw them back towards your hips. I'm going to come back to enjoying this block for today. And you can play around with how it feels to create a little extra squeeze through your glutes and pressing your hips and pelvis down, or to completely relax there. What makes your back feel the best? And then stick with that. Probably some gentle engagement. And if it's hard for you to keep your head lifted, chin can come to your chest to create that extra little stretch of the upper back. But try to not round forward. Still continue to draw shoulders down and back. And then option as we start to close out our Sphinx of looking over one shoulder. Still shoulders roll down and back. Make sure you're still breathing. So only stretching so deep to where your breath is continuous. And then turning, twisting slowly, looking over the opposite shoulder. As you're ready, bring your head back to center. Remove a prop if you were using one. Make a pillow with your hands. Place your forehead on your hand pillow and just relax. Perhaps that's enough for you to really relax your back. But if you need more, bend your knees, soles the feet up towards the ceiling, and windshield wipe your legs left and right, left and right, left and right. We're going to get another big stretch into that upper back next with some broken wing. Okay, so extend your arms wide to the side, or we really only need one arm extended wide at a time. So right arm extended out to the side, left hand comes in close to your chest like you're going to do a push-up. Go ahead, bend your left knee, so sole of the left foot facing up towards the ceiling. We're going to roll onto the right side and place the left foot down on the floor. That left foot can be close to your ankle on the floor, or you can try and reach it all the way towards your right hand for a more intense stretch. Your legs can stay clamshell open, or you can see how it feels to bring your inner thighs closer towards each other. Left hand can stay right where it is supporting you, or maybe left hand walks all the way out into a T for a little bit of a deeper stretch. Maybe left hand reaches back behind you, shoulders going down away from your ears like you're flying. Find what feels good. We're going to take a hold here. So if you're new to this practice, reaching your left hand back without support might not be the stretch that you want. Find what does feel good and simply breathe. On each of your inhales, can you stretch more through the crown of your head and create some length and space in your spine? And on your exhale, can you just relax? If you moved your left arm away from that push-up position close by your chest, take some time, bring your left hand back onto your mat space for some support, and then slowly roll over onto your belly once again. Extend your left leg long. We're going to switch those arms out. So left arm extends out wide to the side. Right hand comes in close by your chest. Bend your right leg and roll over to the right side. Relax your temple down towards the floor and start to breathe. Same options. Same options for really clamshelling your legs open. Maybe walking your right hand out away from you. Find the stretch that feels best for you today. And once you think that you've got it, can you start to create that length once again? Notice if you're crunching, can you stretch more through the crown of your head? If you changed your right arm, bring your right hand back in close by your chest. And then as you're ready, roll back over onto your belly. We're going to bring both hands in close by the chest and press ourselves up and come into a seated position again. I know. Give yourself maybe a cat cow or an extra big stretch before you come onto your glutes. Yay, and let's take some half dragonfly. So bring in the sole of the left foot to the right thigh bicep. Extend your left leg out nice and long to the side, as far and wide as feels good for you. Both of your sit bones still down on the floor. So you might find that sitting on the block once again is helpful, especially if your hamstrings are really tight. And if you don't have a block, just sitting on a pillow or a folded up blanket or a towel can be very helpful. Maybe your hands are behind you because things are feeling a little scary. You can always walk your hands in front of you or even walk out towards your right leg, just keeping your left sit bone down on the floor. We have a couple breaths to go in this half dragonfly. So make sure you're still breathing, eyes closed or one spot, eyes relaxed. Inhale, notice how you feel. And let go of all the thoughts and feelings that you still might be holding that you just don't need. If you took any sort of a twist, let's gently walk ourselves back through to center and then lift yourself up. We're going to switch legs. Opposite leg extends long. Half dragonfly, fold your extended leg to your now, making the same thing happen. But whole new side of the body. So find what feels good. Hands can be behind you. Hands can come in front of you. You can stay supported right here or lower yourself even more. And then same option to perhaps walk yourself over to your left leg. Right sit bone still heavy towards the floor or your towel or your block or whatever it is that you might be sitting on. Excellent. Walk yourself back to center. Walk yourself in. Let's kick both legs out nice and wide for some full dragonfly. Still options to have your hands behind your hips or walking your hands in front of you. Find what feels good. This feels good right now. Big breaths. Amazing. If you folded forward, gently lift yourself up, and then let's bring our legs in towards each other. You can bob your knees, you can windshield wipe your feet, and we're going to lay back down onto our backs. As you get onto your back, draw your knees to your chest. Feet can be open nice and wide. Gently rock yourself side to side for a moment. Really imprint your spine on the floor. And then give yourself a quick little massage of your low back, some circles of your knees in one direction, some circles of your knees in the opposite direction. I'm going to be honest, everyone. My timer died in the middle of class. I have no idea what time it is. I think we're pretty close, though. So let's go ahead and make our way oh, into our final savasana. I thought my hair was an animal. There are no animals here, so that would be very scary. Okay. Woo. Simply relax. Feel free to open your legs nice and wide. Open your arms nice and wide. Come into any version of Sukhasana that feels right for you. And if your eyes are open, close them again or for the first time today. And truly sink into your mat space. Melt into your breath. And take this time to allow everything that we've done so far today to just sink in, to create stillness and give your savasana the same attention and interest and dedication that you gave to all of the other asanas that we've done today as well. If you did set a positive intention for today's practice, it's a great time to return and reflect on it. And if you did not, or whatevs, let's take a moment to think of one thing that we are grateful for today. What's something that you have done this week, this month, this year that really brings a smile to your heart that you can take some pride and satisfaction in, and really inhale that into your mind, body, and being. And no need to let that go on the exhale. Just sink into all of those good feelings. And I hope that the next time you join me for class that you're full of so many wonderful feelings that it's hard to think of just one. So we are together again. Take time every day to eat good foods, do good deeds, nourish yourself from the inside out. Because if no one else has told you today, you are special and you are worth it and you're worthy. And there is no one better to be than yourself. And today is going to be an amazing day. Thank you so much for coming and putting some of your energy out there, for taking just a little bit of mine as well. The light within me honors, sees, and is so thankful for you. So please keep showing up, keep shining, keep being your best. It is always enough. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, wonderful rest of your practice. Namaste.